Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Nashua. Nick Anastas, Chris Cameron with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Undefeated Bedford taking on undefeated Bishop Guertin. Two of the best teams in Division I squaring off in what just may be a potential championship preview. Part of a girls-boys doubleheader here at Stello Stadium. The boys will come your way at 7 o'clock. Of course, we'll have that broadcast for you on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire as well. The Cardinals of Bishop Guertin under head coach Leslie Y. They are 8-0 under the gate. They have 16 college commits up and down the roster and are widely regarded as perhaps the favorite this afternoon. On the other side for Bedford, under longtime head coach Christine Hodgson, she's gotten the most out of a young team that's comprised primarily of underclassmen. And they've gotten the job done to the tune of 9-0 coach out of the gate. So something here this afternoon has to give.
Yeah, Bedford is talented. They're younger and they're not as deep. So the difference here in this game is the more experience that the Cardinals bring, especially at that midfield with Riley Bouvier, Lindsay Holt, and Mimi Piercy. So Mimi Piercy and Lindsay Holt were both, they won state championship as freshmen in 18, as sophomores in 19, and Riley Bouvier was a big part of that state championship her freshman year in 2019 as well. So that's the key, is their midfield. But BG runs, they have their complete team. They have 4 attack. They could run 6, 7, 8 attack. They could run 2 midi lines. Bedford, Julian Bell is their star. Coach Christine Hodgson traditionally doesn't sub that much. So she has 3 high-level middies, and Julian Bell, number 5, who's a commit to the U.S. Naval Academy. With her, you have Sydney Grogan going to be running midfield, talented sophomore, and then down on attack they have Reagan O'Brien, who is their go-to. You know, can she win that matchup? Because BG has 4 really good defenders down there. So that's going to be, you know, can she win that matchup? And who and the third midfielder, who I shouldn't cut short, is freshman star Olivia Matthews, who's only a freshman, but she's a talented lefty. So there's a lot of talent between the lines here today.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to Coach Hodgson, who I think purposely kind of set the expectations low at the beginning of the season, and yet here they are where they're accustomed to being unbeaten just about midway through the season.
Yeah, I mean, everyone coming in, BG was the favorite based on their roster, and then Pinkerton and Bedford were kind of the second and third pick, with Sahegan being in the mix. And it's kind of played out that way, so we'll see today how close Bedford is to BG. They're certainly going to not sneak up on BG. BG's not going to be sleeping on Bedford because they know the talent that some of these girls possess.
Yeah, biggest test to date for both of these teams here, a little past the midway point of the schedule. Sun is out, a gorgeous day, and down on the field finalizing some of the stick check procedures here pregame. Not a bad crowd, early afternoon start. Again, restrictions still in place due to the COVID-19 situation, but it seems like, Coach, as the spring has gone on, we've seen the crowd sizes really statewide kind of increase week by week as the weather gets better and folks are really hoping to get back to normal, so to speak, as the summer's around the corner.
Oh yeah, people, students, parents, they want to come out and they want to come out and see live events. It's a big social part of their overall experience. The parents missed it as much as the players missed it. So it's been great. As the restrictions kind of come off little by little, you see people, you know, like the boys team support the girls team, both at Bedford and BG, and vice versa. So you'll see a lot of these girls watching the boys game tonight, and then hopefully, you know, the boys will be. You can see some of the boys rolling in down there as BG gets out of school at 2:30. The girls probably had to get out early for the 3 o'clock game, and Stellos, you know, what they have is, it used to be games would be stacked up one on top of the other, but with the guidelines that you could only have a 3 o'clock and a 7 o'clock game because they had to spray down. So, you know, there's still some restrictions in there, but you know what? The kids are playing lacrosse, and we're at Stello Stadium, which is probably one of the best facilities in New England. Yeah, and to your credit, to Bishop Guertin's credit, every night kind of seems like senior night in terms of the decorations, the fanfare that's typically surrounded
the games in the past, not just for lacrosse, but really across the board, BG does it just about as good as anybody else.
Yeah, it's a lot of the parents are the ones that do the rotation, and a decorating committee that they have, at least for the boys' side. So I think it's the same for the girls as they're announcing the starting lineups.
All right, Coach, what about some keys here both ways, X's and O's wise? What's it going to take for the Bulldogs to pull the upset, and what does BG need to do to remain undefeated?
So for the Bulldogs, they're going to have to win some draws. They're going to have some possession time, and they're going to have to control the pace of this game. If they just let BG get up and down, that's what BG wants to play. They want to play fast. BG would like this game to be 15, 16, 17. Bedford's going to want a 10-8 type game, a 10-9, a lower scoring game where they can control the pace. But if you fall behind, it's tough to control that pace. And if you don't win draws, the other part, you could make up is saves. I don't know much about sophomore in net Abigail Widener for Bedford. Mackenzie Reiki has been this junior year. She started as a freshman for the Cardinals. She's a talented netminder, kind of just very stoic, doesn't show much emotion, just kind of quietly makes saves.
All right, we are just about ready to rock here. We'll step aside, come back with the opening draw as BG and Bedford get underway in the battle of unbeatens here on a Tuesday afternoon. Right back to Stellos in a moment. You're watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today. Well, there you have it, the national anthem in the books, and we're just about ready to go here. Bedford and BG. Nick Anastas, BG boys head coach Chris Cameron joining me in the booth. We'll have the boys battle coming up at 7 o'clock here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, part of a girls-boys doubleheader, which is how we roll this time of year. And important, would you classify this as mid-season, Coach, or is this late
mid-season? Yeah, we're mid-May right now.
Yeah,
so this is
it's
creeping up on.
I mean, how big of a game is this? It's big for us here in the media. Two unbeaten teams. We love to hype in that angle of it, but it is still a regular season game. But how important is this for both of these teams?
I think you use it as a coach as a measuring stick, because you know you're gonna. We don't know what the pods are, but you know you're going to see Bedford at some point. Mm-hmm. But it's also you want to win. You want to win these. You want to win these games. It doesn't affect your seeding this year, But it's a rivalry. I mean, Bedford BG is a rivalry at any sport, at any level. So especially when you have the top two premier teams, I mean, this is like a big game for both teams. This is a game that's been. I was up at Joppa Fields, and there was Reagan O'Brien was up there shooting. She's getting ready for. I was up there Sunday. She's getting ready for the game. So it's like they're ready. I mean, you can see there's a little electricity in the at Stello Stadium today. Looking for excitement for this game. Yeah,
not a bad crowd, as we mentioned. Some late arrivers still filling in here, but all in all, a healthy crowd given the situation. All right, BG, they'll be in their home whites, blue lettering, green lettering, green shorts, golden trim, as we're accustomed to seeing. Bedford in their road blacks, jersey shorts, red lettering, white outline. Reminder, subscribe to our channel if you're new. Check us out on our YouTube page. Of course, that's FNL NH Media. Again, on YouTube at FNL NH Media. Please hit that subscribe button, and you'll be in the know for all our future broadcasts throughout the lacrosse season and beyond. Again, FNL NH Media on YouTube. All right. We're just about ready to go. Coach Y putting some finishing touches down there on the BG sideline.
There's a little with the girls. They do stick checks pre-game, so there seem to be like a few issues with a few sticks, but I think they got that all sorted out right now. A few interesting lineup for BG. I don't see Emma Hayhurst, who's been a longtime starter, St. Leo College commit. She's not out there in the lineup today. They have Hartsock, a sophomore. Maddie Hartsock starting with Kyla Pascucci, number 19. Delaney Ramal, she's committed to Gardner Webb. Delaney Ramalho, number 22, who's committed to UNH. And then Frida Teresa committed to UMass Lowell. So that's their defense. It's certainly an experienced defense, but I do not see Emma Hayhurst. And then in the midfield, interesting, BG's lining up with 3 attackers. And then you're only allowed 3 on the circle. And then they have 5 on defense right here. With Lindsay Holt backed up on the D. So you can choose. In the boys' game, you have to have 3 in the box. Girls' game, you have a little bit of flexibility with that. So they have, looks like Katie Campbell, number 3, the Virginia commit, is taking the draw. She's a natural attacker. But with her size, they might be having her take the draw here. I can't see who it is for Bedford. It might be.
I think it's Julian Bell.
Julian Bell, number 5. If Julian Bell wins it, and Olivia Matthews, the freshman, comes up with the early possession.
Goes right back to Bell. Across near side now for Grogan. Bedford coming out here with a little bit of speed. Now going to slow it down. Coach, that's the pace you mentioned. Bedford wants to extend some of these possessions.
Yeah, they don't want to get into a track meet. So the matchup is Delaney Ramal, who's they put on Reagan O'Brien. They're running a little weave up top between Bell, Grogan, and Matthews, and they have another player up there. Look at her number.
It looks like BG giving plenty of room here defensively.
Yeah, the college game, when they went to the shot clock about 3-4 years ago, it was the best thing they ever did. And just like in high school basketball in New Hampshire, there's no shot clock in girls, so they could take their time. It's going to be tough for who can win their matchup, who can beat someone on Bedford, because BG is just a tough team. They play tough team defense and individual matchups. And you can hear the talking, the communication, a strong element of that as well. Bedford not deterred. Haven't forced a shot yet. We'll get the game's first whistle here on the near side as Reagan O'Brien. She's going to get the free position shot from the 8 meters. Free position and a pretty good one here, about 10 yards out, less than. And she's a natural lefty, so she's going to have the stick to the middle of the field. Will Mimi Piercy, number 12, be able to cut her off, or will she elect to go with a face dodge underneath? O'Brien going to attack and hit the post. Hit the post. Immediately scooped up the other way for BG by Riley Bouvier. The Stanford commit advances it up the field far side, and BG on the attack for the first time. Well, Cardinals may have dodged a bullet there. Looked like a pretty good shot from O'Brien, just the placement not there. Meanwhile, a nice save. And you could see the pace already that BG just wants to play fast. So Bouvier on the cut was wide open. She's a two-hand. She's a natural righty, but she can play left or right, and she just got stoned by the goalie. Meanwhile, O'Brien going to stay with it. O'Brien trying to get the step on the left, going to fire and score. Yep. Reagan O'Brien able to get to the ground ball, the lefty,
able to beat the defender, get that half step, go upstairs, and put Bedford on the board 1-0.
Yeah, she just flat out ran right by Maddie Hartsock down the alley and snapped the top corner. And that's the lefty. The sophomore's making an early impact on this game.
It comes just over. 2 minutes gone by, first half. So Bedford strikes first. 1-0. Call that a transition goal there, Coach?
Yeah, BG had 2 chances to pick up that ground ball. It was kind of an unforced turnover, and Reagan O'Brien was opportunistic, picked it up and went.
Meanwhile, Matthews trying to dig in off the ground ball for Bedford in a foot race far side with Katie Campbell. And Bedford going to come away with it.
Yeah, that's 2 out of 2 draws, both going to the Bulldogs' way. The talented freshman, Olivia Matthews, coming up with, she was competing with, she was 1 against 2 for that ground ball.
Yeah, Matthews has gotten off to a good start. O'Brien, the goal scorer, off the ball here on the near side wing, as Bedford, again, continuing to take their time up top. Nearly 3 minutes in, Bulldogs looking to stretch this early lead to 2-0.
Really interesting set here. They got 3 up top, and they got kind of a mumbo. They got a 2-2 both set up on the pipes here. So they might just look to run some double cutters.
Going to get something away from the ball here, a whistle.
Yeah, it looked like it was. So O'Brien's going to get her second 8-meter free position shot of the game.
A little different angle. This time, she hit the post on the last free try. Will not make that mistake here. Goes low and scores her second goal. Bedford getting that start Coach Hodgson was hoping for. It's 2-0.
So huge for them. Now they get to control the pace of play. And she mixed it up. First time she went high to high. Well, the first time she hit the pipe, she went high. Then she snapped the top corner going high. And then she went high to low here, changing the planes. So now you got Julian Bell once again on the draw for Bedford, but Riley Bouvier is stepping in. So it's interesting. I've seen for years Lindsay Holt, number 17, take the draws for years. So I don't know what.
It seemed like the game we did a week and a half ago against Souhegan, the majority were taken by Bouvier, who takes one here. Ground ball still loose. Deeper and deeper here down the field along the near sideline. It's going to go out of play.
Yep,
BG's free to Teresa. Pretty good stab there, the senior. But in the end, it goes to O'Brien and will be kept at this end.
3 for 3, 3 draws. BG just swung and missed at it again. Missed a ground. They had an opportunity on that one. So it hasn't been clean. The first draw was a clean win by the Bulldogs. The other two, Bedford seems to have the more energy right now.
Yeah, right now 4 minutes already gone by, and the action has been on this side of the field for all but maybe 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, one
very abbreviated BG trip that produced a shot but not a goal. Bedford, meanwhile, again, okay, to Coach's point, running some clock here. They've got a 2-0 lead. Still a lot of talking defensively. Coach Y about parallel to the 20-yard line, keeping an eye on the defense.
A little surprised they're not coming out and pressuring. They're just sitting back.
Here comes the freshman, Matthews, to the middle, shot, score.
Yeah, on free to Teresa, the senior. The freshman, she went left to left, a little left to left split.
And now a timeout by BG.
Yeah, BG just came out flat. They put it on Pinkerton earlier this year, like 17-5, and since then they played Pinkerton again. It was 11-5. So Hegan, they were up 7-6 at the half. So they're just, right now they're just not playing to their potential. And you didn't know if it was just kind of one of those things where they were just unmotivated at times. They certainly have the talent level. Today they just seemed like they came out flat.
So a good timeout here.
Yeah, you're down 3-0. It's still early. I mean, they could score goals quickly, but when there's been 3 draws, they've all gone Bulldogs' way. And BG's had, as you said, maybe possession for 20 seconds in this game. They off the pipe. It was a rebound shot, and Widener made a big save on Bouvier.
Yeah, the draw circle, the face-off X, always an important part, really, of any lacrosse game, right, Coach? Boys or girls, youth, professional, it really, in a lot of ways, can come down to that face-off circle.
So hockey, they take a face-off after each goal. But there's maybe 7, 8 You know,
if you're lucky, right.
in hockey, in goals in a game. But picture a tip in basketball after every game. I mean, how you could dominate. And in lacrosse, that's what it comes down to. There's sometimes you get 35. You know, if you're looking at a 16, 15 game, you're talking 30 plus face-offs in a game, and that's tough. That's tough to tilt the possession, especially with no shot clock and a lead. You know, there's no reason to start panicking yet. But this pace is just. Bedford's not going to have to play 6 middies. You know, they're going to be able to play their top 3 middies right now, which we're seeing is Bell, Grogan, and Matthews, which is 2 sophomores and a junior.
O'Brien 2 goals early. Matthews scored a moment ago to make it 3-0. So Bedford looking good here. Looking to hand BG their first loss, although there's still, as Coach pointed out, a long way to go. Meanwhile, Bedford going to win another face-off. Bell hounded from behind, had it poke loose. They give it to Bouvier of BG. Quick outlet. This is Mimi Piercy being hounded by 3 Bulldogs. Piercy finally gets rid of it far side, and again, BG going to settle in here on the attack for just the second time in the first 5 minutes here. They trail 3-0.
So another draw win for the Bulldogs. So they're at
4-0.
4-0, right? 3 goals plus to start the game, 4-0. But Bouvier trail checked Bell to get the ball back, and BG's running their offense for the second time.
Here's Madison Keating in a crowd. Shot rejected. May have been the goaltender. Meanwhile, a whistle quickly after. It looked like Bedford had gotten to a ground ball they had. Prior to the whistle, quick restart.
Keating might have ran through the crease there.
Meanwhile, pass taken near side. It's O'Brien who's going to come up with the clear. Now O'Brien, sophomore, already has scored twice. Coming middle, staying to her left. Shot. Didn't quite get off cleanly. It takes a roll out of play behind the cage. It'll stay with Bedford.
Not the pace Coach Hodgson wants to play at, but when you're up 3-0, sometimes you get a little confident there. So one lineup change that you see after the timeout is Coach Y put senior Tegan McGinnis in on defense for the sophomore Maddie Hartsock. McGinnis is a senior committed to SNU.
So an early adjustment. Meanwhile, trying to find a cutter out front. Bell couldn't quite come up with it. Bedford will keep it. Not giving room behind the cage. Now going to make a move near side. Lost her footing. Ball squirts out. It's loose. Far side of the crease. Still loose. Dangerous. Scooped up eventually by Teresa.
Sloppy by BG.
And outlet contested. Now loose. Bedford gets to it. Well, the ground balls have gone the Bulldogs' way here early on.
Dominant. I think BG's come up with Teresa picked that one up. Bouvier had 2 earlier, but everything else has gone. Any 50-50s are going the Bulldog way.
Yeah. 7 minutes in the books. First half. Grogan. Nope, this is O'Brien near side. Good defense. O'Brien forced to get rid of it. Takes it back. Near side. Defender is Pearson, the midfielder. BG going to switch. Oh, good cut. Freshman at the doorstep, denied. Excellent stop by Riki. The junior goaltender read that one.
Matthews with the backdoor cut, simple, and just like basketball, backdoor cut, had the one-on-one, and
good feed too.
Riki, yeah, she led her perfectly.
Meanwhile, whistle here.
One thing, we've seen 2 players go down. We played here versus Concord on Saturday, and the turf seemed slippery. I mean, it was slippery, so it's something to keep an eye on. No precipitation or anything, but it just seems.
Had a little bit of rain early yesterday, but again, the sun's been out all day. Meanwhile, BG able to force the turnover. This is Holt trying to weave now towards the middle of the field. Pass taken by Bouvier along the left wing, and we got another whistle here. Going to bring it back to about the 48-yard line. Quick restart will set up Bouvier here again on the near side wing. BG, just their 3rd possession.
Each possession lasted less than 20 seconds.
Maybe trying to settle in here. Take a little extra time, trying to get on the board, trailing 3-0. Coming up on 9 minutes gone by, first half. All right, they're going to run something here on the near side. Trying to set up a 2-player game, and now it's Bouvier. Shakes the defender. The Stanford commit, though, Couldn't get the shot off cleanly. Good second slide, it looked like, from Bedford.
Yeah, so Bouvier's got the 8-meter free position shot. She might run it in, but she also has the ability to just time and room and crank it.
I didn't even realize there was a whistle. Okay, so Bouvier winding her stick here.
The goalie's baiting her for the stick side, inside pipe. Let's see if she bites for it. Oh, she made the extra pass to Kudu.
Kudu.
She just didn't take the extra step. We call it on the boys' game 2 steps to glory. She shot that a little bit flat with no angle. If she would have just kept coming across the middle, she would have had a much better angle.
It would have been 3 steps to glory there, right? All right, BG going to stay with it. Perhaps the best opportunity so far for the Cardinals to get on the board. Bouvier. Been recruited for a long time, punched her ticket, or is going to punch her ticket to Stanford. Meanwhile, good move here. This is Kutu. Back middle of the field. Shot, score. Able to weave her way through traffic. It's Mimi Piercy. BG showed some patience there. It paid off. They're on the board and back within 2, trailing 3-1.
Yeah, Bouvier drew the slide, a little skip pass. Piercy, the senior, Bryant commit, just showed some poise inside, and she went high to low. She changed the planes on Widener there. Widener has come up with 2 saves early on.
So the Cardinals needed that. Nearly 10 minutes into the game. They're on the board at 3-1. They have yet to win a draw, however.
Yeah, I just don't. To me, Lindsay Holt on the draw circle is the most dominant player in the state, and she's not on that circle right now. They have her back on defense, so very interesting to see why.
Matthews involved in a battle in the end. It's scooped up by Piercy. Piercy showing that speed, able to split defenders. Yep. Quick whistle, even quicker restart. Bouvier is going to move it. Here's Holt. Holt had her eyes light up there for a moment, but a good closeout, and BG is going to restart.
Yeah, Julian Bell playing physical defense. I love when the refs let them play a little bit.
Yeah. A pretty good first 10 minutes by the officials, I think,
there haven't been too many whistles.
Yeah. Meanwhile, trying to weave her way is Piercy. Shot, score! Beat the goaltender stick side, it looked like, over that right shoulder.
From 12 yards out. Looked like she went high to low. It looked like she put that ball underneath the goalie again from 12.
Good spin move, too, Coach. And then
put it right underneath her there.
Excellent finish.
She showed the big loose ball, the ground ball in the clear in the middle of the field.
Right.
And then she gets her second goal of the game, showing a little versatility. Her game at the college level right away is going to be just her dominance between the lines. She's a great between the lines player. Now she scored a righty goal, she scored a lefty goal. She's a big-time player. She stepped up. Now they have Holt on the draw, and they put Bouvier back on the circle.
Heading to Division I, Bryant. That pretty much says it all.
Bryant, Julian Bell, who's taken the draw, her sister Chamberlain just finished her freshman year, and she was on the All-NEC team. That ball they're going to redraw that one right there. So BG is throwing a lot at Julian Bell because this is at least the 3rd player to take a draw.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is what you've been calling for, Coach, right, with Holt?
Yeah, they have.
Taking the draw?
Yes.
Yep.
So Holt Holt on the Holt can either take the draw or be on the circle.
I think she's
taking the draw right now.
Draw here,
this is her versus Julian Bell.
Yeah.
Might be another redraw.
Bell had won 4 of the 5 she's taken for Bedford, but some technical procedure issues here. It means 3rd time, hopefully, will be the charm here.
In the boys' game, the wing play has become less and less part of the face-off because the face-off guys are so quick and so clean. Like when you watch J.J. Murphy on BG, he's just in and out really quick. The wing play isn't as important, but on the circle for the draw is where a lot of these,
because they tend to go way up in the air.
They go or to the side,
right,
up in the air. Sometimes they go up in the air, and then the taller player with the one-hand reach can grab it. But the girls in the circle really determine the possessions. And so far, Matthews, Grogan, and Bell have been winning on that.
This one's going to fly towards the Bedford goal.
And it looks like Bedford came out of the box early, so possession to BG. And you can see possessions are key because BG didn't score in their first 2, but now they've scored in their last 2. And they seem like they're content on just going with this circle offense, and then they run some cuts off of it.
Piercy has scored both BG goals. Bedford, led by Reagan O'Brien's 2. Olivia Murphy made it 3-0. BG has scored the last 2. A chance to tie here. Holt slipped, gets a whistle.
It's a shooting space, so she's going to have a free position shot right here, and she's going to have a clear. She's going to be able to get to her natural right hand right here. Goalie's coming way. Looks like she's way on her left pipe right there. Maybe she's baiting her to shoot stick side. We'll see.
Seemed like she tried that last time against Bouvier, too. Holt got to go right towards the goal and score low.
Yeah, she was just giving up a lot on the stick side right there. So there's a 3-0 run for BG within, I don't know what the time was, but it seems like it's under 3 minutes.
Yeah, under 2, actually,
under
Coach.
2 minutes, yeah.
Piercy at 15:20, 14:39, and now it's Holt at 13:36 to go here in the first half. We're all tied at 3. So Holt, who is on her way to Holy Cross, helping her team in a variety of ways in this first half, including coming up with the equalizer there. BG has won the last 2 draws after Bedford won the first 4. This one up in the air. Holt takes it off one bounce.
Yeah, see that her on the draw circles.
Cardinals want the lead. Holt going to give it up far pole. Pass middle, taken low, shot little wide. Foot race near corner, out of play. And it looks like it'll stay with the Cardinals.
Yeah, a little bit of a jam pass there from Reap into the crease, but well handled by Piercy, and then Kudu ran out that shot right there. I don't know what they're going to call, maybe a push from behind, so she has to go behind. Tipping has to go behind the player. So Kudu might just be better served to just pull this out and get a possession going here.
Goes right to Bouvier. Bouvier, little shake and bake, draws a second defender. Holt takes the pass, goes back door, shot, score. That's Madison Keating. Left alone near the cage, a good feed to set her up. BG has scored 4 straight. They've got their first lead at 4-3.
So you could just see the depth. I mean, Bouvier hasn't even hit the stat sheet yet, and you could just see Holt, Piercy, Keating. There's just a lot of depth here, a lot of offensive weapons right here, and it's all, possessions are key. I thought earlier in the game when Bedford had that 3-0 lead, I thought they'd play a little bit too fast, and now next thing you know, they haven't had the ball since.
Keating, on her way to the University of Indianapolis, puts the Cardinals in front 4-3. BG held off the scoreboard nearly for the game's first 10 minutes. And they have now scored 4 in the last 3. They'll win another draw as well to tie that up at 4 apiece. They've won 4 in a row at the draw circle. And now again a chance to keep this momentum rolling. Bedford looking for a stop. Couple of cutters come through the zone. Pass forced in there for Bouvier, and then ground ball scooped up by Bedford.
Yeah, Reap just jammed another one in there right there. She was just holding the ball. The ball was dying in her stick. The look was there, but it just wasn't in the could be a dangerous swing by Holt.
And Holt trying to jar it loose. I believe that was Bedford's Vivian Robinson, another one of these talented Bulldogs sophomores who came up with the ground ball and cleared it herself down the middle.
It's their first possession in a while. I think they're going to take the air right out of this ball and work for the best shot. You don't want to get the first shot. You want to get the best shot you can get.
Past the midway point, first half, inside of 12 minutes now until the break.
Oh, so much what I know.
Shot goes wide there. The freshman Matthews
she's
pulling the trigger.
She's looked dynamic out there. She's running by people. She's got this little shake from left to left, and they haven't had an answer for that yet. But I'll tell you, Grogan's athleticism in the middle of the field, Bell, we knew what Bell had. We knew Bell could match up with any of the BG girls, but Grogan being the sophomore, she's hanging in there, and same with Matthews. So they're athletically, they're matching up with BG in the middle of the field.
Coming around the cage near side. This is O'Brien, who scored the game's first 2 goals. And now a whistle here coming from the
We got a yellow card coming right here.
far side.
I didn't see. You call a check to the head. And free to Teresa.
Free to Teresa, the senior defender. Going to jog towards the box. Just over 11 minutes to go in this first half.
So O'Brien with a chance for her hat trick here with a free position shot. She doesn't quite have. Looks like Piercy's going to have that angle.
O'Brien, who hit the crossbar from a similar spot in the game's opening minutes.
Riki just has to hug her pipe because she's going to have help coming from. Yep.
Shot low, scores. Now Riki maybe a split second late, trying to swing that stick down. O'Brien, who's been surgical. 3 goals now, the game's highest score, and Bedford has tied the game at 4 apiece. So, Coach, a couple of free ones for Bedford here, taking advantage of those BG mistakes.
Yeah, you got to earn those free position shots. So I would say out of the 8 goals, we know O'Brien's had 2 free position goals. Holt's had 1, and so almost half the goals in this game so far have been free position shots. And it looks like the same 6 girls. BG has the depth, but so far they're not playing. They haven't subbed out these 3 midfielders yet. And that's one of it. So they have Julian Bell off the circle right now. I can't see if that's Olivia Matthews, number 6, taking the draw right now. And there's Bell with the play.
It was Matthews.
It was Matthews, and Bell just beat Piercy. Sometimes it's not beating it. It was the angle that she had, but it was a great play. She's a very high-skilled player.
The Bulldogs looking to reclaim the lead after BG scored 4 unanswered. Game of runs, as we know. Bedford scored the game's first 3 goals. BG responded with 4 straight. O'Brien scored a moment ago. Meanwhile, this one loose. 2 Cardinals in pursuit, including Holt.
Which way is it? Yeah, they called an empty stick check there on, not sure if it was Doldo or Matthews.
They're both in the area. Good job by Holt. BG facing a ride now from Bedford.
Oh, she ran into a double there.
Yeah, somehow still on her feet.
Kyla Pascucci got it.
That's Pascucci, the senior.
She got that clear there. Now Katie Campbell running the show. She's more natural, kind of behind the goal as a feeder, as a finisher.
Looking for a cutter here. Going to keep it. Up top. Piercy going to move it, and now Bouvier. Was not looked to shoot, really. At least so far.
Yeah, they're matching Julian Bell up on her whenever they can. And they're trying to put Sydney Grogan on, it looks like Holt. Holt's back on defense right now, so I wonder. Oh, you know why? Because they're man down right now. So they're killing off the Frida Teresa penalty.
Yeah, Teresa standing at midfield, watching from the box. Inside of 10 minutes, coming up on the 9-minute mark, first half.
Bedford's choosing to not double. BG is just trying to take time off here. Frida looks like she's getting ready to run in. She'll come on the field, and then Holt will step over. And it looks like they're trying to match. Yeah, they have Grogan matched up with Holt.
Yeah, Holt coming to the zone now. It's Bouvier up top. Goes left side. Had a little bit of room there. Thought about the shot. Comes back middle, spins, finally fires. This one wide.
A little bit of a force there from 11, 12 yards out.
Pretty good defense by the Bulldogs,
Very good defense. Yeah, they weren't going to let her penetrate. They're keying on her.
Campbell fakes low. Behind the cage.
Prunier with the rocker move.
Over the top. Holt above her head to the right. Trying to come middle is Piercy. Again being ridden out. And a good defensive series here for the Bulldogs. Finally forcing a ground ball, and it's scooped up near side. It's the freshman Matthews who ultimately comes up with it. Now at midfield. Grogan up ahead. Pass behind her. Didn't matter. O'Brien able to, in one swoop, collect the pass and then fire off the shot for her 4th goal of this first half.
Looked like it was Ellie Enners on the assist right there, number 26, a sophomore. O'Brien's 4th of the game.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 for the lefty.
Sophomore. Getting number 4 here with just over 8 minutes to go in the first half, and putting the Bulldogs, who have played with the lead more often than not, back in front 5-4.
That's what turnovers are going to do to you. Turnovers and runouts. It's just like in basketball. You turn the ball over, it comes back to burn you the other way.
Yep. And to Bedford's credit, that's the second transition goal they've been able to come up with in this first half. BG, though, going to win the draw. As Piercy gets to it. And now Keating trying to set things up for BG. They'll swing it to the far side. Campbell. Quick rotation. Tess Prunier with a touch. Campbell behind the net. Well, Bedford not giving a whole lot of room here. Communication has been good. BG showing a little more patience maybe than they did in the game's opening minutes here.
Yeah, they are a dominant right-handed team. You could see everything comes from either behind right. The only natural lefty that I know of is Steph Reeb. And that's a forced shot from Piercy right there.
Comes from 12 yards out.
Yeah.
No problem. For the goaltender, Widener, the outlet. Is going to come across the 50-yard line. O'Brien now inside the 30. Going to slow down at the 20. And Bedford okay here with possession. A 1-goal lead inside of 7 minutes to go until halftime. Both teams undefeated. Bulldogs 9-0. BG 8-0. Bedford scored the first 3. BG the next 4. Bedford the last 2. O'Brien's pass knocked down, and then a push coming against the Bulldogs will give this back to the Cardinals.
Yeah, they called an empty check there. A little bit of it was a little two-man game going from the wing. Matthews was open on the slip, just good defensive play right there. But you could see Reagan O'Brien. This game tape is going to be sent out to colleges. This is going to get her recruited right here.
Heck of a first half. She scored 4.
This is a high-level game where she's stepping up, and she's been the best player in the field so far.
Yeah,
for sure.
Meanwhile, Teresa helping out in the clear. And again, BG looking for goal number 5 as we move inside of 6 minutes, first half.
This is the pace where Bedford wants the game. They don't want this game up in the 14, 15. They want to be around 10.
All right, near side Keating scored a moment ago. Bouvier. Shake and bake for the junior. Near side, but force left. Good defense. I think that's Grogan on her, yep. Bulldogs have been up to the challenge here in this man-to-man defense. Kutu, nowhere to go. Back behind the cage. Campbell fakes right, comes near side. Again bodied up. Slide comes over. Jams her up, far post. Somehow escapes with possession. Keating now up top.
No one can beat anyone on BG. They're not winning. Bedford's handling each individual matchup.
The defensive footwork has been good.
Yeah, and when they help defense when they need it.
Holt. Giving room, far side. Now high slot. Comes back middle. Pass. Back door. Shot. Score. Piercy in traffic, able to collect and then fire it low to tie the game at 5.
The hat trick for Piercy.
Yeah.
Just showing a high skill level. I mean, she's worked hard to get that. She's handling some tough passes right there. Catch, nice cut, the catch, and the finish. They inverted Bouvier behind there, trying to get her going. I mean, it's tough. I mean, Riley Bouvier has been scoring 4 or 5 plus goals a game right now.
Yeah.
They're holding her in check.
We saw her score 6 against Souhegan here a week and a half ago.
It's coming. It's just a matter of containing her. I hear a double whistle down there. I don't know if it's a... Coach Hodgson had confidence in her team because when BG went on that 3-0 run, I was looking for a timeout call, but she just had confidence in her.
4-0 run.
Was it a 4-0?
Yeah, they took the lead 4-3 for a moment.
4-3, and she had confidence that they could regroup.
Yeah. Inside of 5 minutes, 5-5, our score. Another draw win.
Julian Bell's been sensational in that circle.
Yeah.
Sensational. Even when she doesn't take them, she's better off not taking the draw but being on the circle because she's showing athleticism and skill level to get to that ball.
I've got 6-5 in favor of Bedford. And they've
quick.
all been taken by Bell for the Bulldogs. Here's a good move.
Piercy with the check.
Yeah.
She got the call.
Ball flew out of Bell's stick. Bell going to be given a free lineup here where at about
she's not
the
going
11-yard line?
Yeah, she's not. It's not an 8-meter shot. So
okay.
So she's not going to have that free path to the goal right now. She's just going to pull it out. Maybe move it here to Matthews.
Yeah, she's 15 yards out. Clock continuing to tick down to 4 minutes.
She'll fake in and back out.
Bell, a Navy commit, just a junior. Draws some attention and then lost it.
She would have been better off just getting out of that.
Still loose.
There's Matthews again.
She's been a ground ball machine for Bedford, the freshman. It's another for the visitors. And now gets rid of it here as Grogan takes over. Bulldogs looking to reclaim the lead.
Grogan's been quiet from as far as a point production today, but she's been very good defensively.
Yep.
Very good off the ground.
She's drawn the matchup with Bouvier.
Yeah.
And has held her off the board. Here's Matthews. Back door. Shot, score.
Matthews to Bell.
Yep.
Bell with the cut.
An excellent placement on that shot. It just goes underneath the crossbar. It's Bell's first, and Bedford again out in front 6-5. Comes with 3:13 to go in this first half.
And now we're seeing Emma Hayhurst, number 2. I didn't see her on the sideline, but she's just checking in right now because she's been a starter for years for this team. So again, BG is going to march out Holt, Bouvier, Piercy, and you know who's going out there for Bedford.
Yep, it's been Bell.
Yeah, Bell looks like it's Matthews is going to take it, but she's going to have Grogan and Bell on the circle. Oh no, Grogan's going back on defense. I can't see. Oh, so they put O'Brien up on the circle right now.
And is that Bell taking the draw?
No, that's Matthews.
Oh, okay.
That's Matthews taking it. Bell's
against Bouvier here.
Yeah, Bell's lined up on the 40.
Bedford a slight edge, at least by my count, of 6-5. This is going to go to Bouvier. Takes it off the bounce.
That's where Bouvier is so good. Her skill level is just off the charts with those one-handed grabs.
Made it look easy.
Just so smooth and skilled, talented. There's BG again with that circle set, and everything they have is just set up off the right. We'll give
for Keating, back door, little wide.
Wide on Widener. That was a nice play. They're running the same kind of out of different motion, but they're running that same backdoor cut from a right feed to a right back door. Coach Hodgson's going to pick up on that eventually and just overplay the right hand. Holt has not had much room in the Piercy trying to draw that free position shot, that shooting space shot.
With her step for step is the defender Grogan, who's played excellent defensively in this first half for Bedford. Meanwhile, Coutu gets rid of it. Holt bobbled it, recovers, given space. Tiptoeing now towards the 10. Spins back middle. Good slide. Forces her to get rid of it. Bouvier now one-on-one. Bouvier to the left. Gets by the defender. Got knocked down, and a whistle will come.
That could be a yellow card right there. Looks like she got – no.
Looked like she got hit upstairs.
I guess she got hit in the head, yes.
Right.
This is where Bouvier is dangerous. Again, the goalie, Abigail Widener, giving up that inside pipe.
Begging her to shoot.
I don't know if she was baiting her earlier, but geez. Oh.
Bouvier going to fire. The bouncer won't work.
It looked like Bedford jumped that whistle there, but Bouvier is 0 for 3 shooting. You don't see that too often.
Tried to go low, but ended up bouncing high over the cage out of play. It'll stay with the Cardinals. We're inside of 2 minutes to go in this first half. BG, they've trailed most of the way. Trying to tie this thing up before halftime. Holt will do that. Beautiful shot across the body. Lindsay Holt. Her second goal, and BG evens things up again at 6.
Not much you can do from a defensive standpoint right there. It looks like BG cleared out that right alley. Bedford's been really good with help defense, but there was no one in a help position right there, and then she just ripped that from about 12 yards out down the alley just inside the pipe. That's high-level stuff right there.
Holt on her way to Holy Cross from a lacrosse family coach, as we know. Her brother went down to UMass Lowell and now is playing in his 5th year in Florida, right?
He just finished up that year at Lynn. They lost a tight one to Tampa. Tampa got that bid to the NCAA tournament. Cormac McCarthy, who's a Bedford grad, picked up that tournament bid. So they go back to Bouvier. This is where she's so good.
And that's where she comes up with another.
She might go early offense here.
Thought about it. Good closeout. Back door, shot, score. Beautiful finish. Campbell with a little bit of touch there just in front of the net. And just like that, BG showing you how explosive they can be. Back-to-back goals within 12 seconds.
Yeah, this is the pace they want to play at. All from the drive. Campbell would have been better. Campbell is a smooth lefty-righter player. She's a natural righty. She would have been better off just catching that lefty, one motion and finish. If she had to catch right, open up, spin, and finish. But she's skilled enough where she was able to finish that play.
Yeah, it was a tough shot.
She made it a little more difficult than it needed to be. So let's see. It looks like Olivia Matthews on the draw against here.
Bouvier's been hot. Has won 2 straight for BG.
Seems when Bouvier's taking him, the ball's going straight up in the air versus right to the...
This one goes airborne as well. A couple bounces near side, and Bedford right to it. Grogan.
Nice play by Grogan.
Pass. Bobbled. I think that's Bell. Or no, it wasn't Bell.
That was O'Brien. That was O'Brien.
Yep.
It was a forced feed right there. They handcuffed her a little bit.
Now BG dealing with it out of their own end. Goaltender Riki whips it far side.
This is Hayhurst.
Hayhurst.
Seeing her first
action after coming off the bench. Right?
Yep.
Meanwhile, still with it is Piercy, finally cut off. And BG going to pull it out here for the final minute.
If this were Bedford, you would think about holding for the last shot. But BG wants to play that fast pace.
And Coutu is going to make him pay. Unaccompanied along the near post. Good feed. And then a high shot and score is going to give BG their first 2-goal lead of the afternoon at 8-6.
Yeah, Kudu, earlier in the game, she took that flat shot, didn't get up the field. We call it getting up the hash mark. That time she got up the hash mark, gave herself a much better angle. And the Oregon commit, the Ducks, strong right-handed player right there, finished far top pipe.
A couple of Pac-12 commits, as you mentioned, Coutu.
Yeah. Future
Oregon Duck, and of course Bouvier on her way to Stanford.
So that's another 3-0 run. You know, it's a game of runs, and BG,
right.
You know, when they get the ball, they're dangerous. Bedford's done everything they can, but you see what turnovers do. They won the last draw, but they turned it over. So turnovers are going to – Bedford's got to do a better job of reducing the turnovers in the second half in order to stay in this game.
3 goals in the last 54 seconds. This one still up for grabs far side. And a whistle will give this to the Bulldogs.
Bell's just being really, really dominant in the middle of the field. She's got the 1 goal. Not much offensively other than the 1 goal, but she's just been great between the lines.
Yeah, Matthews been good as well. Going to win a foot race here. The freshman still in bounds along the near sideline. And we're down to 25 seconds in this first half. Bedford trying to cut the BG lead in half and grab a little bit of momentum back as they head to the locker room. Clock ticking down to 10 seconds. Matthews trying to free herself up.
She's taking a nice feed.
Backdoor feed, pass though a little high and away from Bell, out of play. Just 4 seconds to go. BG with it. Bouvier's going to launch it.
The length of the field.
Oh, they're going to run out of time though. Prunier's pass will be waved off, and that'll do it. So an interesting first half. Bedford came out, really dominated the first 5 or 6 minutes. They scored the game's first 3 goals. And then BG responded. 4 unanswered. They grabbed a brief 4-3 lead. Bedford came back with 3 of the next 4 to take a 6-5 lead into the final 3 minutes. But the last 2 minutes belong to the home team as Lindsay Holt, Katie Campbell, and Nat Coutu put the Cardinals in front, coach, at halftime 8-6.
Yeah, just balance. We talked about the many weapons that the Cardinals have, and that's what you saw right there. How many different goal scores do they have? I would say
for BG?
Yeah, at least 5, right?
Piercy with 3. Holt with 2. Keating with 1. And Campbell and Coutu with 1.
5 goal scorers. And one thing that BG did not do, where they have that big advantage, is the depth in the middle of the field, and they didn't sub. Mm-hmm. You know, they subbed on defense. You saw McGinnis come in, which was a huge sub. Once she came in, she solidified that defense a little bit. You know, after that 3-0 run, so Tegan McGinnis made an impact early, and then we saw Hayhurst come in late. I'm not sure what that was about, you know, because she's been a starter all year. And then attack, you saw Tess Prunier come in, and she was steady sophomore, nothing flashy so far, but she moved the ball and really showed her high IQ right there, and they were, you know, they played well with her in there. So there was the 1 sub there defensively, but midfield no subs. I don't know if Bedford subbed. I couldn't tell.
I don't remember.
They certainly didn't sub in the middle of the field. So Matthews, Grogan, and Bell, they've been going up and down the whole time. They tried to give Grogan a little bit of a rest, putting her on defense for the draw, where they moved O'Brien up to the circle. But that's one thing we talked about, is just the depth favors the Cardinals, but they're not really utilizing it, you know, as much as they can. But I think, you know, girls with the draw, even as much as in the boys game with the faceoffs, the girls draw is you see who's the runs, that's what determines these runs,
yeah.
is possession. Possession in the girls' game is even more, because you don't get as many saves in the girls' game as you do in the boys' game, because the shots are they're close. They're within 5 yards mostly.
Right.
I mean,
that's a good point.
Holt put one in from 10. Bouvier tried one from far, but for the most part, the shots have been in tight. And then Reagan O'Brien's been sensational. Four of the 6 goals. Matthews has the one, and Bell has the other. So I mean, that's who we knew was going to be the scoring. The one Grogan, even though she's not scoring, she's made an impact on this game defensively and on the circle. Where they got into trouble, Bedford, is when they tried to play fast, and they turned that ball over. They need that. They need the game. BG excels at a fast-paced game. Bedford needs to be more controlled. Control the tempo, reduce the turnovers. That's what we're going to see in the second half. I thought Abigail Widener in goal has been solid. I mean, maybe one soft goal. I'm not sure about her angles on some of those free position shots, but she's been very, 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 very steady in there.
Yeah.
Where Riki's probably made 3 saves. She's made the save she has had to. No soft goals there. So she's been steady, her typical steady self. But entertaining game. I mean, we're in for a really good second half.
Yeah, we are. 2 unbeatens. We figured it'd be tight. It is at halftime. 8-6 BG. We'll step aside, come back with the second half in just a moment. You're watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today. Start of the second half here in Nashua. Nick Anastas, BG Boys head coach Chris Cameron with you from Stello Stadium. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. Reminder, if you have not subscribed to us on YouTube, please do. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming broadcasts and you stay in the know with everything that moves here, lacrosse-wise, in the state of New Hampshire. FNL NH Media on YouTube. Again, that's FNL NH Media on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button. 8-6 BG. Bedford scored the first 3. Reagan O'Brien, big first half, scored the game's first 2 goals, ended up with 4 for the Bulldogs in that first half. BG, as you highlighted, Coach, a game of runs. Mimi Piercy, Lindsay Holt, Madison Keating, in that order. 2 for Piercing, 1 apiece for Holt and Keating. Gave BG a 4-3 lead for the first time about midway through that first half. Back-to-back goals from O'Brien in short order, about 3 minutes or so apart. Put Bedford out in front 5-4. Piercy's third, tied it 5-5. Julian Bell, the Navy commit, gave Bedford their final lead of that first half, 6-5. Final 2 minutes belonged to the Cardinals as Holt scores her second. Katie Campbell, Nat Kutu, both scoring in the final 90 seconds to give BG an 8-6 lead, Coach, and that is where we are as we begin the second half. Any major adjustments you see from either head coach here?
I don't think there's – I mean, you can only make so many adjustments on the draw circle. We kind of anticipated, we called the style of play that each team was going to make and where they excelled. So I think Bedford's going to have to control the game, control the tempo as best they can. But when you fall behind, then all of a sudden you got to start playing fast. But possessions, it seemed like the last maybe 10 minutes of that half, the ball wasn't down on the Bedford end very much at all. When they did, they turned it over really quickly. So you see, it looks like Matthews for Bedford taking the draw, Olivia Matthews, the freshman, and Bouvier again. Bouvier's kind of seemed to be the answer right now for the Cardinals at the draw circle. And she's been quiet offensively off the score sheet. You don't see that too often. So you might expect her to have – what she has to do is let the game come for her. Don't force it. Don't start taking bad shots because she's going to have her opportunities because you can't shut her down. There it is. There's Holt on that circle where she's just so dominant. And that's
great positioning by the senior.
Yeah, moving her up. You know, why she was down defense, I'm not sure. But having her up on that circle has just been the difference. Now, Bedford defensively has been really good. They're winning their individual matchups. They're playing good help defense.
Back door for Bouvier, double teamed immediately near side post, tries to squirm her way back to the middle. Whistle here.
That's an unfortunate unfortunate call against Bedford because Bouvier was running away from the goal right there.
Right.
So she's going to have, she's going to probably try, she might just wind up and crank this thing righty, or she might try to get underneath.
Bouvier going to fire and score.
As we said, it's tough keeping her off that score sheet for long. You knew it was coming.
You did.
You knew it was coming. But that's just a call that where she's running away from the goal. Just don't foul her.
Comes 50 seconds into the second quarter. It extends a BG run that began inside of 2 minutes to go before halftime. They've now scored 4 unanswered and hold their largest lead of 9-6. So Bouvier, whose younger brother plays for you, right, Coach?
Yep, he's having a stellar sophomore campaign. He's runs on our second midi line, lefty.
Connor, right?
Connor Bouvier, yep. He's an offensive midi for us, and he's been producing. He's looked like Big Sis at times. Yeah, he can shoot it. He's one of our top shooters on the team. Nice job. Is that Matthews? Ooh.
Little collision here.
Collision there by Holt. She plays aggressive. They put Bell back on the circle right there.
It was Bell who went tumbling. Bell with a quick restart. Going to come near side. Trying to get her team back within 2 here. First attack trip for the Bulldogs of the second half. Comes with just over a minute gone by. Shake and bake here is going to draw a whistle.
Looked like it was
against BG.
This is Ellie Enners right here, the sophomore. Her brother will be playing in the game tonight, one of the captains of the Bulldogs boys team.
Yep. All right, Enners, excellent chance here from about 9 yards out. Going to make her way to the right and go over the top for the score.
She gets her first of the game.
Elania Enners, again, part of this big, talented sophomore class for Coach Hodgson. Gets the answer Bedford was hoping for as they're back within 2 at 9-7.
Yeah, she had been quiet. We hadn't called. She didn't get an assist early in the game. She'd been quiet offensively, not many touches, and she certainly made the best of that one right there. I'm not sure what the call was early. The other attack they have out there is Cameron Schmidt, a freshman. So you can see they're a young team. You got O'Brien, the sophomore.
Yep.
Enters the sophomore. Schmidt, the freshman. And it looks like Alex Doldo, the senior commit, going to Wheaton is the lone senior. Sometimes you see Emily Ulmer down there on attack for Bedford, but that seems like it's the 5 rotation. This is Piercy's ball. You're not going to beat her to that. She's turned the wrong way right there.
Another one for BG, their 10th draw win.
Just redirect that and go over the top. You got 3 on you. If you go over the top, there's going to be people on the backside. There you go. There's one pass. Now you're out the backside.
But Bedford, meanwhile, recovering quickly, though, defensively. Pass floated near side, finally cleared for BG as Holt on the receiving end. 3 minutes gone by, second half. BG hoping to reestablish their largest lead from a moment ago. Out in front, 9-7. Looking for a cutter.
Yeah, they're running some motion cutters.
This is Kutu. Side steps, good dodge shot.
Yeah, that's a matchup that they seem to be winning right there, is that Kudu can beat her defender.
She's got kind of an explosive step, doesn't she?
She does. That seems to be the matchup that they're winning right there. I can't see the number of the...
I think that's Vivian Robinson, the sophomore defender, I think.
It could be Sabrina Tipping, because she was the one wearing the helmet, number 30. Yeah,
it
looks like Tipping.
Yeah, 30, not 20. You're right,
30,
Tipping.
Yeah, Tipping.
Another sophomore. And Tipping has played pretty well.
She's been steady.
Kutu with 1 goal there late in the first half. Kutu looking for her second. Going to come now way high.
Little pass.
Shakes, left side, gets around Bell, stumbles, no whistle, loose.
That was just a force.
And there's Tipping.
Yep, good play.
Who gets to it for Bedford. Her second ground ball, I believe.
BG ran a pass down, pick down. Julian Bell just switched the matchup. That's a foul on Kudu. Kudu just ran into a triple team, though.
They give it back to Tipping. She gets rid of it quickly near side. Now Grogan going to try and split 3 defenders. Near side, forced to give it up. Enters. Comes back to help her out at midfield. Foot race now. Teresa trying to chase her down for the Cardinals. Pass to the cutter. O'Brien jammed up, though, on the shot. Gets her own miss. Double team. Back to the cage. Spins. Lost it. No whistle. Play continues. Ground ball still up high. And now finally the officials step in.
Yeah, empty check on Bedford. Bedford just running into double teams there. There's no reason. I mean, they're better off slowing the pace down. They threw a jam feed to O'Brien. She was able to come up with it. Let's see what head official Lynn Cusack has for us here. I don't know if it's a clock issue.
Clock frozen for the moment. Just about 4 minutes gone by. And everybody over at the scores table and the BG sideline awaiting an explanation here. BG Athletic Director Ryan Brown
It could be
on his feet.
Could be a parent issue in the stands.
Well, whatever it was,
we're
going to resume.
Here comes Pascucci. Those long.
Pascucci absorbs a quick hit. Doesn't matter. She's cleared a couple herself, Coach. Looked good for BG there. Shake and bake. And a little bit of a hit from behind. Keating stumbled.
Keating draws the free position shot right here.
Going to come from the far wing here. A chance for goal number 10 for the Cardinals. Nearly 10 minutes in.
I don't know if she has the angle. She might be better off passing this behind to Kudu.
Crouch down really low. 3 steps, bouncing shot wide.
Nice job by Reap right there. You don't want to run out of bounds before the ball because then you're not a player in play, so she let the ball go out. She's their one natural lefty back there.
Yeah, it was a good IQ play. Slowed herself up, let the ball go out. BG going to keep it. Up top, Holt. 2 goals in the first half. Deep behind, this is Prunier. Looking for a cutter. There's the feed, there's the shot, there's the stop. Widener read that one very well for Bedford, ends up with the ball. Takes her time, outlet taken far side by Tipping. Tipping up the far sideline, pass knocked down.
Just a bad turnover right there.
Good defensive play by Romalo.
The whistles seem to be going BG's way, but that's just an unforced turnover. There was no reason to rush the clear. She threw it into a double team, into a stick. BG back on offense.
Yep. Good job by the Cardinal ride to force that giveaway. So, nearly 6 minutes gone by. Cardinals, really after being on their heels defensively for the opening 6 or 7 minutes, have now played on the attack more often than not, really since. And that trend has continued here in the second half. Holt, underhand pass. Another little flip. Bouvier, quick shot, score.
They run that, Syracuse runs that weave. They call it the motion offense, a little weave. And usually a right-handed flip to a right-handed player is not effective, but Piercy was able to come up with that. And then they just gave Bouvier space from 12 yards, and she ripped it off the far side pipe. Shoot back where you came from.
Kind of a quick trigger that perhaps caught the defense by surprise. Bouvier's second goal. Both have come in this second half. And once again, BG by 3, their largest lead, 10-7.
Yeah, she's not shy. She'll rip it. She has the ability to shoot it. So looks like they got Holt on the draw going against Bell here.
And Bell has taken most of the draws for Bedford. BG, after losing the first 4 at the Circle, have now won, 10 of the last 13, make it 11 of the last 14 as Holt comes away with another.
Holt is just so good at that.
Up ahead, Bouvier, left side, too high for Keating. Tipping right to it.
That's a nice ground ball by Tipping.
The sophomore for Bedford along the far sideline is going to come up with the clear. Gets rid of it. Here's O'Brien. The game's high score with 4 goals. Goes middle, extra pass, feeds it up near side, denied. Not happening, says Riki, who slammed the door along the near side post.
That was great transition offense in Bedford. Tipping
it was.
Up the side to O'Brien.
Got the shot they wanted, just a better save.
Looked like it was Emily Ulmer on the shot. It was the right shot. She just she didn't change the plane. She went high to high.
Now the Cardinals dealing with the Bedford ride. Teresa couldn't come up with it cleanly. Battling with Enners. It's loose, and it stays with the Cards. Romalo, the defender. Triple teamed. Threads a pass middle. Holt going to send it up to Bouvier. It's a 4-on-3. Bouvier fakes left, shoots, knocked down. Widener with another excellent stop. The whistle will come.
This is this pace favors BG.
Yep.
Getting up and down, but
back to back.
Yeah.
Good goaltending stops for each team.
Each team. Yep.
Widener going to restart it. Tipping far side, facing the Cardinal ride. Trying to get the step on Keating towards that far sideline. Comes back to the middle. Going to reverse it now. Bedford looking to clear up the middle. Intercepted. Holt.
Just
read that like a free safety.
Yeah, she was. She was sitting back. The BG pressure on Bedford's forced 3 turnovers in the clearing game so far early in this second half. Not even just over 8 minutes in.
Cardinals 10-7. They trailed 3-0 to begin the game. Battled back to take an 8-6 lead at halftime. Riley Bouvier scored twice for BG in this second half. And we're at 10-7. Cardinals looking to stay unbeaten, hoping for their 9th win of the season. Bedford already 9-0. Trying to come away with Stellos with a big, big win and improve to 10-0.
They're just working some clock right now. I think this just gives the Bedford Middies some time to rest.
These two teams meet again, right, Coach, on Thursday?
Yep, 2 game sets.
It's been accustomed during the COVID-19 situation. 9 minutes gone by, second half. Lengthy possession for BG. Bedford trying to come up with a stop. Cardinals looking to extend their largest lead. Meanwhile, physical play. Holt goes down, collided with Grogan, the defender. Whistle against Grogan.
Great play by Grogan. She jumped out on the weave. She cut the angle off.
Holt goes middle, draws a couple of slides. Going to back pedal and get rid of it here to Piercy. Piercy big in that first half for the Cardinals. 3 goals. Yeah, and their high score.
She's been steady. She's been beyond steady. I mean, just like very smooth between the lines and showing some offensive skill.
You mentioned able to score with both hands early. Scored the first 2 for the Cardinals. Holt splits the defender up top and then lost it.
There's Piercy again.
Piercy off a big ground ball. Keeps it at this end. Back out for Holt. Back door. This is Keating, shot fake, good closeout defensively.
Very good closeout
by
there,
tipping to push her out and prevent the shot. Now Kutu, given space. Behind the cage, back far side wing. Just over 10 minutes in, second half. BG okay with taking clock here. Prunier. Given a lot of room.
That's Reap. That's
it's Reap,
15,
excuse me.
yeah.
I thought it was 11. Off the curl. It's nothing but net. Bouvier. Beautiful off-ball cut. Takes advantage of the space weak side and scores her third goal of this second half. BG's largest lead is now on the board, 11-7.
Yeah, because we talked about...
And Bedford has seen enough here, Coach, as Christine Hodgkin calls timeout from the Bedford sideline.
Yeah, she needed that. So the score, BG was up by 2 at the half, right? 8-6. So we're looking at a 3-1 quarter right now, and the ball's been down in the BG end throughout the whole game. That we talked about Reap being the only lefty, the natural lefty on the team. So they're kind of running some offensive sets through her because the cutters are they're strong hand righty. So they're trying to set up that righty cutting game with Reap just feeding. I think
and it worked that time.
Bedford needs to pressure like on-ball defense. They need to pressure the ball more. They're just letting Reap sit back and feed, and that was just a right in the ear. She just put the ball right in Bouvier's ear, one catch, and not even a cradle. She just fired it stick side. So Bouvier's been free, and they kept her in check in the first half. This second half, she seems like she's got 3. She could have 5. I mean, she's just
anything noticeable difference-wise between. Well, anything related to Riley Bouvier. You mentioned Bedford kept her off the score sheet in the first half, but already here 3 goals in the first 10-plus minutes of the second half. What has been the difference?
She had the one free position shot, which was kind of like her running away from the goal. So she got one that way, and then she got on the cut. So they're kind of running some offense for her, running some off-ball screens for her to get her free. She hasn't really beat people off the dodge because I think that Julian Bell, has done an outstanding job on-ball defense. All 3 of their middies, Matthews, Grogan, and Bell have been outstanding on ball. But BG's running some sets right now. And they're just running, one series of motion after another right at them. And when you have the ball, you can do that. And especially with the lead, they're just being very, very patient. And then the opportunities that they did have, Piercy comes up with that loose ball, and they're just possession. We did see a little flurry. We did see a little up and down. You could see Bedford their natural instinct is to play fast. When they have an opportunity, they're going fast.
Because they're used to it, right?
Right, but that's what's getting them in trouble. What's getting them in trouble. Now all of a sudden you're down 4 goals with under 15 minutes to go in the game, 14 and a half to go. You got to start pushing the pace a little bit here. But it's a game of runs. Christine took a timeout right here. You want to maybe go on a 2-0 run and go on a 3-1 run, and you get yourself back in this game.
There's a look at BG head coach Leslie Y. Started off in the program as the JV head coach back in 2018, I believe. And, of course, is now the head coach and, undefeated on the resume as a head coach at BG, hoping to stay that way after this one's wrapped up. Reminder, speaking of after this one is wrapped up, don't go anywhere. We'll be here for the second part of this girls-boys doubleheader. The boys from BG hosting the boys from Bedford. That's a 7 o'clock start. Cardinals, of course, unbeaten. Bedford, in the minds of many, a pleasant surprise this season. Yes. They meet for the first time. And again, that comes your way about 7 o'clock Eastern time. We're on the air shortly before that. Part of a Tuesday doubleheader here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. It's presented by Beals Insurance. All right, out of the timeout. Bedford in need of a win at the draw circle. They're not going to get it here as Keating. Nope.
Piercy's just
able to get to that ground ball.
One ground ball after another for her.
The action has been at this side of the field for most of this second half. Nearly 11 minutes in now. Well, Bedford going to take a gamble here defensively that's going to pay off. Good job by Mackenzie Muir, the senior. Going to ride it all the way to midfield, collides with a couple of BG players. A whistle will come.
Great job by Mackenzie. Just physical right there. Comes up with the stop, the ground ball, and then the clear. She was running out of room right there,
Trying to avoid 2 white jerseys here on the restart. Yeah, draws another whistle. Bedford will keep it.
One of the reasons for this run is early on in the second half, Bedford had struggled clearing the ball. They failed on 3 clears. So now all of a sudden they have a clear, and now they have a chance to run their offense. And when they've settled down, they've been getting shots.
Trying to do so here. A rare second half trip. They've scored once from Melania Enners, but that's been it. Trying to find some of that magic they saw in the first half when they scored 6 times.
BG's the middies like Holt and Piercy are very good on-ball defenders, and you could see they're trying to match up on Julian Bell.
They're long physically, too.
Yeah, long. And now you have Matthews, the lefty, who showed some great shake, athleticism. You know, BG, you would think coming in, they would know that a little backdoor cut right
there. Nice
there.
pass. But O'Brien jammed up. Good defensive play. Ball loose. Comes up with Piercy, another ground ball.
There goes Piercy.
Then a ground ball fiend. Good high pass. Taken on the run by Bouvier. Far side Keating. Now looking for an angle. Middle shot. And score. Able to beat Widener low.
You can see what turnovers do to you. Turnovers just come right back, and they jam it right down you. And that's where BG's at their best in transition. You can see Piercy just showing her athleticism between the lines. Comes up with that ground ball. Hits Bouvier, and Bouvier to Keating. Keating showing some nice athleticism there. She's a super high-skilled player. She's great around the crease, and then she adds that to her game. That's a nice move. That's running by someone right there.
A future college athlete at the University of Indianapolis.
Indiana. Are they the Greyhounds?
I'm not sure.
Indy.
That sounds right.
They're a strong Division II program.
Up and coming.
Yes.
And they've got themselves a good player. Keating. 2 goals now. BG continuing to increase their lead. It's now 12-7, a 5-goal gap for the first time. Bedford gets a much-needed draw. Matthews, the freshman, on the move. Now got to reverse and pull it back out.
You wonder if Coach Y is going to go to her bench, because she's got some middies in there. Lauren Redfern, who's one of the top freshmen around. She's a super talented player. So they have fresh legs that they can get in there. McGinnis can play some midfield. Kate Simpson can play midfield.
All right, Bedford taking their time. Matthews up top. Looks for a pick. There's nowhere to go. Trying to bring Piercy far side. Kind of forced a shot there.
Yeah, see, they're just forcing them into turnovers right now. And these turnovers are starting to just wear them out. Now they're going to have to play defense.
And now Riki.
In the boys' game, you have 20 seconds to clear the ball at the midfield. In the girls' game, there's no clock to clear it. There's no counts. So they choose to leave the goalie open, but then they leave Holt wide open too. So it's not the best ride from Bedford so far.
Yeah, BG made quick work of it eventually after Riki got rid of it.
Part of that could be just wearing down. They're getting tired. They've run those same 3 midfielders all game. And now, you're talking about a 65-degree day today maybe. When you play in June, when sometimes you're looking at 80s, that's going to make it even tougher for these girls. But
good point. Well, that's why you get conditioned, right, Coach? You got to get in shape.
You got to get in shape. You got to develop your bench.
Back door. Pass off target. Ends up with BG anyway. Good job playing that one off the bounce by Reap. And this game continues to move. We're past the midway point. We're inside of now 11 minutes. Cardinals, they've trailed 3-0 to begin. The game came out flat. Coach Y had to call a timeout at about the 5-minute mark. As Holt continues to dance here one-on-one with Grogan. Since then, they have been the dominant team. They've scored, 12 out of 16 since they trailed 3-0. Bedford, though, going to force a turnover. Enners comes up with it.
Campbell went in a little bit casual to that ground ball right there. And then
battling with Hayhurst now, going to bring Hayhurst middle.
Good job by Olivia Matthews on defense. They saw Holt turn her back, and she sent the double, forced them into a turnover. One of the few Cardinal turnovers here in the second half.
Yeah, Matthews has played well both ways for Coach Hodgson in Bedford. Enners, who has scored the lone second half goal for Bedford, trying to spin away from Hayhurst, looking for a cutter middle. Pass off target, knocked away. Players hacking at it, top of the box. Whistle comes. It'll stay with Bedford.
they're forcing Bedford into to jamming the ball. They're not really. Matthews has been one who's been winning the individual matchup in the first half, but they've really kept her in check here in the second half. Part of that is limited possessions. She doesn't really have an angle here. She's going to have to pull this out.
Yeah. Comes near side.
This
is Bell.
They're going to have to get going with Julian Bell's going to have to be the one to get them going. But again, it's just another jam.
And not quite the spacing for that backdoor pass.
No.
It ends up with Riki.
See, that's what happens when you fall behind.
You got to try to force it.
You got to force it.
Yeah.
It's easy to play with a lead, but when you fall behind, all of a sudden you're down by 5.
Especially when you had been trying to play with pace to that point, it can be tough to make that adjustment.
You can see they're struggling with this right now. Now BG's just going to look to probably run some clock right here. They don't need to be in a rush at all. Delaney Romalo just looks so poised. She's just so good as a one-on-one defender in the clearing game.
Yeah, spearheaded the clear there. And again, BG now going to set up on the attack. We're going to run some more clock as we head towards the 8-minute mark. Cardinals with their largest lead on the board, 12-7. This is Reap.
Yeah, she's got to get rid of that ball quicker. You wonder what you're going to do if you're Bedford here. Do you sit back and let BG make a mistake and run clock, or do you come out and pressure? But if you pressure, you just open yourself up to back doors. And
it's a risk either way.
Yeah.
Up top, Holt, back door. Good close out. And eventually Keating's lost it. Yeah, I think it was Matthews who got a stick on it. Up the field it goes. Bedford now with numbers. They scored twice in transition in the first half. The pass, though, broken up by the goaltender, Riki.
Yep, they're just not able to play fast. They just
ground ball near side, still up for grabs, and finally a whistle. I think it's going to go against Teresa in favor of Bedford. Bell going to line herself up with her heels just inside of the 15-yard line. Or this is Bell now near side on the wing. Given plenty of room. Once a one-on-one, it looks like, with Bouvier.
Yeah, they're running it nicely. You wonder if they'll have someone come over to help, but Bouvier's not just a talented offensive player. She can play D. Right.
It's that matchup we were hoping to see. A Navy commit against a Stanford commit. Now a second player, is going to enter the picture. Shot there, sent away. Riki couldn't quite locate it. It ends up out of bounds behind the cage. And we'll stay with the Bulldogs here as we hit the 7-minute mark, second half. Bedford desperately trying to cut into this Cardinal lead. They're still down 5. Biggest gap they've had to deal with. Far side, O'Brien. Shot again, stuffed up. Riki ends up with it. It looked like, Coach, that official had a flag.
Yeah,
ready to be thrown.
Like a play on. It was a play on.
Okay.
The flag means you play on. They don't want to take away the advantage, and Riki just plays her angles so well. There was not much left for O'Brien to shoot at. So you see, for the first time, Mimi Pierce, who's played a sensational game, just a terrific player, comes out, and number 14, the freshman, Ariana Kuchalakis, checks in. So there's some of the depth that you see. She's like a very fast player.
Good pass here. Teresa takes in the look from Piscucci. Up ahead, Bouvier. Extra feed, but a whistle here as it gets near the cage. Kutu.
That's one where they called shooting space. So Keating's going to have a free position shot. Where if they would have just let that play on, Kutu would have had a one-on-one right there. But
actually works out in Bedford's favor potentially.
Yep. And now Coach Wise taking a timeout right here with 6 minutes to go.
Yep.
5-goal lead.
Chance to draw it up. Is that a good time, Coach, to call a timeout potentially when, if your team's out in front, you got a lead, you got a chance really to deliver kind of a final nail in the coffin? I don't know if that's fair to say here, but really put your opponent on the map here. Is that a good time to call a timeout and just kind of address the current situation?
Yeah, I think I don't think she liked the last few possessions BG had, where they turned the ball over. When you have a 5-goal lead and there's no shot clock, that's probably what she's telling them is, look, make them come out and play us, and take one-on-ones. Don't force the ball. Don't dodge into doubles. Lindsay Holt turned her back, got doubled. Maddie Keating ran into a double team. Nat Kudu ran into a double team. So she's probably talking about, let's spread it out, let them come double, and only take one-on-one shots. I mean, that's what I would tell my team right now at this point is the clock's in your favor. You could see Bedford, they could certainly go on a run, But when they have to play at this pace, they're just not as comfortable forcing it right now. So I think that's what Coach Y is talking about right now. Is okay. Let's slow it down. Let's take good shots, spread it out, and you'll see if she'll start getting some players in right now.
Meanwhile, for Bedford, they have looked good at times this afternoon, particularly in that first half. They held a 3-0 lead. Sophomore Reagan O'Brien was the high goal scorer at halftime. Despite the fact the Bulldogs trailed, she had 4 of the 6. Cardinals, though, responding, led by Mimi Piercy, who had 3 goals in that first half for the Cardinals. BG led at halftime 8-6 and have expounded on that lead in this second half, scoring 4 of the 5 goals since halftime. Bouvier with 3. And Keating scored her second a moment ago. That's where we are at 12-7. BG looking to improve to 9-0. Bedford hoping not to slip to 9-1.
Yeah, Bedford, you could see they're wearing down a little bit too. They have some talent. I mean, they'll be better in June than they are now. There's no doubt about it. Because you got to remember, some of these sophomores that they have, this is their first year of varsity. They didn't have the opportunity to play under Coach Christine as freshmen. So they're as new to the program, new to her system, and varsity lacrosse as the freshmen are. So a large part of their team are first-year varsity players right here. You could see, in attack right now, they have Cameron Schmidt, a freshman, the sophomore Reagan O'Brien, everybody's been shut down. And who was the lone goal? Enders was the lone goal scorer
for Bedford in the second half. Yep. Well, reminder. We've got the boys' game coming up at 7 o'clock right here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. You will not miss an upcoming broadcast. Again, we're on YouTube at fnlnhmedia.com. Final 6:05 here from Stello Stadium. BG playing with the lead. They've got possession. They come out of the timeout. Looking to take some more time here. Bouvier, starter still on the field. Keating behind the cage. Kutu, give and go. Keating on the move, going to fire and score, and there's the hat trick.
They've run that play all day long. Kutu's just a really good feeder. Just a little slice, backdoor cut, and again, 13-7.
Keating back-to-back scores. She scored, a goal about midway through the first half that gave BG their first lead, and now gives BG their largest lead at 13-7 inside of 6 minutes here, second half.
Yeah, they're pretty close to getting doubled up right now. You can see, they're competitors. Bedford's going to certainly compete. You have Tess Prunier checking in for Katie Campbell right now. On defense, you have Kyla Pascucci checking out. They're starting to get starting to play some players right now.
Yeah, you've got Piercy on the sideline. I don't know if you said that or not, but she's down there. She's been on the field way more often than not today.
Oh, yeah, that's her first break of the day.
Yeah. Meanwhile, BG's had a slight edge on the draws. Not sure if my count is correct or not. But I've got 13-8. I may have missed one or two. Bedford's going to win this one, make it 13-9.
Holt had the initial possession, and then nice check by Grogan.
Good feed over the top here. Matthews across the zone. Tough catch in traffic.
BG swarming on defense right there.
So O'Brien, who has to retreat.
See, they're trying
to find Enders on a backdoor cut. Pass off target. Keating gets to it. Or not Keating. Who is that? 18. Another new player for BG. That's Kate Simpson.
Kate Simpson, the senior.
Yep. Made a good play there. Meanwhile, Teresa trying to navigate the waters here.
Stick work has not been clean. BG's, there's been some fumbles.
Ramalho back to Teresa. Up the near sideline. Pass a little bit behind. Kuchalakis eventually catches up to it. We get a whistle here along the near sideline.
They got a card, so now they're going to be down for, can't see what number that is.
It's just the second penalty of the game, I think, right, Coach?
Second card of the game, one for each team.
Second card, yeah. First against Bedford.
That was Mackenzie Muir, who's played a very solid game.
Yep. So Muir takes a seat. We're inside of 5 minutes.
BG's just going to work some clock right now. I mean, Bedford's not coming out to pressure. They're just sitting back. It looks like, BG's going to run those sets. They're just, as I said, they're just not crisp with their passing.
Yeah, that's an unforced error.
I mean, there's a lot of that today. I mean, not just in the offensive set, but in the clearing game between the lines. That's something, if I'm looking at, we can get better with our stick skills. We can clean that up.
Keating, who, as we mentioned, scored 3 times.
Yeah, that wasn't her.
Couldn't get that one. It was way too low, yeah.
That was a little bit of a bounce pass to her.
Bedford, meanwhile, good job on the clear here.
Julian
Bell right down the middle, all the way, denied. Stopped on the first one. The second one, though, goes for Bedford.
O'Brien, her 5th of the game.
Right place, right time for the sophomore Reagan O'Brien. Scores for the second time. Scores the second Bedford goal of this second half. And as you mentioned, Coach, now 5 goals by Reagan O'Brien. So Bedford, a little bit of a shot in the arm. They're back within 5 yet again at 13-8. The clock, though, a major factor. 4 minutes even to go in regulation.
So certainly not what I had predicted with Coach Y with the timeout. I thought they were going to milk some clock. They came out, they ran a set, quick goal within 20 seconds out of the timeout, and then they come down and turn it over again. So they're still playing. They're still pushing the pace.
Face off on the way.
The draw.
Oh, you're right. Draw. It's going to take a while for me to get used to that. But it has been pretty much a BG advantage. After Bedford won the first 4, helped the Bulldogs build up a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, that's been the difference.
Since then, though, led by Riley Bouvier, it's turned in BG's favor, where I've got it now, I think, at 14-9.
And as the score is 13-8.
So is that right? My math is right there? Because you have the 2 extra.
Yeah, 2 extra, yep.
Beginning of each half. All right, here's Reap. Closed down by the defender, trying to take her inside of the near post, push back out. Looking for a cutter. Yep.
Boom.
Right on the money. Piercy, another one.
Her 4th of the game. From Kudu. Kudu was racking up the assists. Racking them up.
Good cut. A good placement on the pass, to your point. Let's see. Piercy 3 in the first half. It's her first of the second half. It comes at a good time for BG. 3:20 to go. They reestablish now a 6-goal gap at 14-8.
Are you keeping on the assists? How many is that for Kudu?
I do not have the assist numbers handy.
To me, that's at least 4. I think she's sitting on 1 and 4, maybe 2 and 4. Yeah, she's
a bunch from the post there. It's
a very solid game.
Yep. She scored right before halftime as well. So Nat Kutu doing a little bit of everything for the Cards. They've looked good in the second half. Had a 2-goal edge at halftime of 8-6. Their 6-goal lead is their largest, 14-8. Bouvier gets to it.
Bouvier's being she's letting the game come to her, and then she gets another one
there. Good feed.
She has not forced, for
and that was from Kutu or no?
That was from,
I think so.
I think it was Kudu again. We'll see it.
Great job, Bouvier on the cut, getting the step, pass on the money. And more often than not in this second half, that combo has been deadly for BG. Kuto to Bouvier. Bouvier now with 4 goals. Again, all since halftime.
Yeah, we talked about she needs to let the game come to her, and she has. And she's been great, not just in the offensive part, but that draw right there. She came up with that. It was a 50-50 ball. The 50-50s that were being won by Bedford earlier are now by BG, because I think Bedford's just worn out. These girls have played the whole game for Bedford.
Yeah, it's been a tall order.
Kudu as a feeder, you can't see someone open and then pass it. You have to anticipate getting them open, and she's making the anticipation, and she's hitting her right in the ear. I mean, that pass right in stride.
Is that the ideal pass, Coach? Up
right in the ear, yeah.
Yep.
Because you saw some of the passes that are handcuffed down around the hips. Those are the ones getting turned over. You want to pass the ball, So
you catch it high, and then it's the same motion, basically, right? Go forward with the shot.
Put it right in the ear. We talk about going ear to ear.
Yeah, she's been.
There goes Piercy again.
Feeding people.
They're just wearing them out.
Piercy, another ground ball.
Down to Kudu in that spot.
The draw has gone BG's way in the second half for sure. inside of 3 minutes.
Piercy making a good decision right there. She could have forced that in. Part of that, too, was the Mackenzie Muir card right there where BG picked up 2 goals. Was it one? At least 1 goal, maybe 2, being a player up. They're just working clock, see if Bedford comes out.
I think 1 EMO.
It was 1 EMO?
Yep.
Okay, yep.
Good coverage on that. Cut, meanwhile. This is a clean takeaway.
Yeah, the referees
give it to tipping.
Usually in the girls' game, they call, good strip by Bouvier.
And then tipping, Bouvier closed down on her.
No.
Her feeding pass knocked down, and then out of the cage comes Widener.
That's one of those ones, you're up 2 minutes to go. You don't need to be jamming the crease right there. She did have Reap open on the back door. They've held Bedford to 2 goals this quarter.
Yeah.
A lot of that was good team defense. Some of it was turnovers by Bedford, but McKenna Rickey came up with 4 big saves in the second half.
She's gotten better as the game has gone on, noticeably. A couple of those were stone-cold stops, for sure. Meanwhile, Grogan over the top, trying to hook up with Matthews. Matthews seeking a feed, middle, extra pass from Enners is behind target.
Just turnover by Enners right there. She threw behind.
Trying to find O'Brien to her right. Now O'Brien in the mix, able to come up with that ground ball. Long pass, knocked down by Teresa. And then BG going to come left to right here. Foot race at midfield. Bouvier on the sprint. Minute 20 to go. Will the Cardinals keep the foot on the gas? No, they will not. Going to use some clock instead as we head towards the final minute here of regulation. Big day for BG. Not the start Coach Y was hoping for. They fell down 3-0 in the game's opening minutes, but after that steadying timeout from the sidelines, it's been really all BG in a number of ways here. They've outscored Bedford 15-5 since that point. And have dominated this second half. Meanwhile, whistle here. Is going to what?
Prunier's going to have a free position 8-meter shot. So as the game's gone on, it felt like Piercy, Bouvier, and Holt have gotten stronger.
Yeah.
They've gotten stronger.
And the goaltender.
And then the middle of the field, they just dominated. So look at her. She's given up a lot of the – looks like there's a lot of inside pipe there. Oh, she baited her and she got –
Yeah, she's obviously comfortable with that.
She's been very steady.
She's looked good.
Widener's been very good in goal.
Yeah.
They're just turning it over.
Widener, just a sophomore.
Nice play by Simpson there.
Simpson trying to stay out of trouble. Thought she had a whistle in her favor.
You'd be surprised if they shoot the ball now at this point in the game.
Just 30 seconds left.
Just pull it out.
Yeah.
No need to put a 16th up on the board. Just possess the ball. They come out and play you.
Good defense. Boy, Grogan's had a good game. Takes a shot and goes down, trying to split 2 defenders. Good sportsmanship there by Prunier, helping her up.
Yeah, Prunier and Grogan play on the Tomahawks 23 purple team, so they're friends. They know each other, so there was no intention there from Prunier. She just kind of, Grogan spun into her.
Yep.
She bounced up.
It's been a clean game, a hard game, but it's been clean.
This
one out of play, and 18 seconds now. Bedford, maybe time for one more. Sorry, Coach, didn't want to cut you off there.
Nope. So now you look at this. Okay, we play each other in 2 days. We're at Bedford High School. What do you got to do?
Bell trying to get one more shot off, but can't quite do it. A suffocating defensive effort by the Cardinals. Pretty much sums up the afternoon, at least this second half. BG, write it down. It's final 15-8. They win over Bedford. They improve to 9-0. Well, on the other side, the Bulldogs suffer just their first loss of the season. Quick break. We'll come back, recap in just a moment. You're watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
Well, 15-8 is the final as BG stays undefeated, now 9-0 on the season. Got into some hot water to begin this one. Bedford came out and was the antagonizer, scoring the game's first 3 goals. They won the first 4 draws of the game and seemed like every other ground ball was going the visitors' way. They built up that 3-0 lead and kept BG off the board for nearly 10 minutes. But that is when Mimi Piercy decided to turn on the Jets. She scored back-to-back goals, followed by Lindsay Holt and Madison Keating. That gave BG their first lead of 4-3 about midway through that first half. Bedford's Reagan O'Brien scored back-to-back goals, part of a 4-goal effort in the first half for the sophomore. That put the Bulldogs again ahead briefly 5-4. Piercy's third made it 5-5 inside of 5 minutes to go in that first half. Julian Bell gave Bedford their final lead of 6-5 on the juniors' lone goal of the afternoon. Final 2 minutes, big turning point in this one as BG scored 3 times to take the lead for good, up 8-6 at halftime at that point. And then Riley Bouvier, who did not score in that first half, came alive to begin the second. The BG junior scored 3 times to make it 11-7. Madison Keating scored back-to-back goals, a future Indianapolis Greyhound, made it 13-7. O'Brien, a last-ditched effort for Bedford, scored with 4 minutes to go to make it 13-8, but BG closes things on a high note. Piercy's 4th, Bouvier's 4th in the final 3:20. Brings us to our final score, 15-8. BG clearly coach, still the team to beat in Division I, the last unbeaten now at 9-0.
Yeah, they just wore them down. They were able to weather the storm early. Bedford came out hot, winning draws, as you said, jumped on 3-0 lead, and there was a game. It was a game of swings in that first half, but BG they got stronger as the game went on, and I still don't know if BG played their best. Their stick skills are a little bit sloppy to me between the lines, unforced turnovers, but Bedford even more so when they were forced to play fast when playing from behind.
Yeah.
That's not the type game that they want to play. So if I'm Coach Hodgson coming in this game, even if you fall down by 2 or 3 goals, you still got to play your tempo. You got to play your pace. Don't force it as much as they did, because that's when they got themselves into trouble. We don't have official turnover stats, but they just, in the second half, they just turned the ball over.
But you got to credit BG, too, there.
BG's defense was pressure.
It seemed like they got better as the game went on.
But also
that whole unit, too, right?
They did. They wore them out as the game went on. But when we opened up the game, is BG's complete. They have the 3 stars in the middle of the field, but their defense is good. Riki's solid in goals. She's very good. And then attack, you could see they're a unit. They rotated 5 attack down there. Kudu had the best day of all of them, dishing out the assists. Keating was very good. Campbell had the 1 goal. Reap had the 1 assist. Prunier was quiet today, but when she was in there, she was very steady. Part of the system, ran the offense. So as a unit, BG played very unselfish, today.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. Just they're a complete unit. They don't rely on one person. I mean, sure, Bouvier is their star. She's been scoring a lot of goals, but the things that Piercy does a lot of you don't even notice her sometimes because she doesn't hit the stat sheet as much as some of the other girls because she's so good on defense between the lines where she's sensational. But today, she not only did she do that, she picked up 4 goals. And then Holt
and a handful of ground balls.
She was great all over the field, as was Holt and Bouvier. And then defense for Rita Teresa, Emma Hayhurst when she got in the game, Tegan McGinnis, then Lainey Ramal, who I said was just so poised out there. And she did in the second half from after O'Brien got that hat trick. It seems like they put her, focused her on O'Brien, and she kind of slowed O'Brien down. But O'Brien was sensational.
Tremendous. 5 goals for Bedford in defeat.
The lefty sophomore, and Julian Bell was she was really good. She just wore down. I mean, because she took so many draws, and they relied on her, defensively to take either Holt or Bouvier, and she did for the most part. She did very well against Riley. But it's just they don't have the options that BG has.
Well, the good news, I guess, if you're Bedford, after suffering your first loss, is you get a chance at redemption just 2 days from now on your home field when these two teams meet up again in Bedford. All right, reminder, we've got a boys' version of Bedford BG coming up in about 2 hours or so here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. And, Coach, well, I've got you here. Why don't you give me some keys here? What are your Cardinals going to need to do to beat the Bedford Bulldogs tonight at 7 o'clock?
We want to play fast. We want to play aggressive, and that's what we're going to pressure them because the same kind of similar story here is Bedford has some really good players. They just don't have as many as we do, where we can run 2-3 lines at you. So we're going to come out. We're going to pressure them all over the field. We'll 10-man ride. And the other thing is we're going to have the ball a lot because J.J. Murphy is just a dominant face-off guy. So we know defensively we're going to shut teams down. We're just very good defensively, and we make saves. Dylan Stewart is getting the start tonight in goal. And
what goes into that? Because it's been sophomore.
It's been Connerty. Stewart's been playing well in practice. He's a Bedford kid.
Give him a shot.
Give him a chance.
Yeah.
The difference between goalies 1 through 4 is very close.
Good problem to have.
Yes, and then offensively we got to do things. We have to convert. We're going to get transition opportunities, so we have to convert those transitions. But in our 6-on-6 offense, we haven't been consistently great. So that's where we're looking to get better. So that's one thing that we can certainly improve on.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. Again tonight, boys on the boys' side, BG and Bedford coming up at 7 o'clock. Reminder: Sunday mornings, the FNL NH Lacrosse Show comes back for another week. It's presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawk. Coach and I will be in studio, exclusive interviews, full recap of the week, full preview of the upcoming week, a lot of NCAA talk, boys and girls lacrosse on the high school level. We've got it all covered every Sunday, 9 a.m. It's the FNL NH Lacrosse Show presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Putting the final bow on this one, again, a 15-8 victory for BG. Coach, your final thoughts here as we say goodbye.
So these are two teams that could play. They'll play a second time Thursday. We know that, and then they could certainly play a third time in June. I think it's June 8th is the girls' championship.
Is that early?
That's right. The boys is June 12th, and the girls are always the Tuesday or Wednesday.
It's kind of early. About 2 weeks in?
No, it's right about where what they did is they started the season a week later, but they cut out a week of preseason, so we're
right on schedule.
Right on schedule.
All right, good.
So these teams will face each other again. Is Bedford as good as Sohegan? Yeah, they beat them twice. Is Bedford as good as Pinkerton? I think it's Bedford Pinkerton are the two teams that right now to me are the teams that give BG the biggest challenge of taking away their championship.
All right. I want to thank you, Coach, for jumping on.
Oh, it was fun.
Is this our first time together for a game? I was trying to think of that on the way over.
We've done.
I feel like you did one on the radio with us back in the day, right?
I think I've done. Have I done?
I've done basketball.
I've done basketball.
That's right. For BCTV.
I've done BCTV. Right. We've done basketball together.
We're gonna have to do this again.
All right. Yeah.
Very shortly.
Anytime you need me, let me know.
And good luck this afternoon or tonight, I should say, against Bedford. All right. I want to thank everybody affiliated with BG and Stello Stadium, including Ryan Brown, the athletic director, Coach Cameron, for jumping on here with us, our friends over at ETV, our technical director, of course, is John Barron, bringing you the sights and sounds up on the roof. The director back at the Beals Insurance Studios is Ben Beals. The executive producer is Steve Beals. My name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time, BG 15, Bedford 8. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals.